All right, welcome to another edition of Sound Advice. And now we're going to everything that we have went over. We're going to apply it now. And I have a couple of tracks, not all the tracks to this song, but a few of them, so that you can get an idea of applying EQ when needed in a session. So what we're going to work with is a kick in, a kick out. We're going to work with some vocals. We're going to work with a guitar. We're going to work with the snare. I believe those are all the tracks that we're going to work with. So now that we have learned what we learned, now let's apply what we have learned. So if this interests you, please stay tuned as we take a dive into applying everything that we know about EQing on these tracks. And the first set is going to be the kick drum. All right.
Okay, let's get into this. We're gonna work with the kick first, and what we want to do is to hear what the kick is doing. So I have a kick one, kick two. Kick one is the microphone was placed inside of the kick drum, and kick two was placed on the outside. So with kick one, what's being recorded is more the beater head hitting the skin of the drum. And what's being recorded on the outside mic is more of the bottom end of the drum. So with 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 this, we can kind of work a little better at getting what we want out of the kick drum, because two different mics was recording two different sources instead of just one mic recording just the drum. The kick drum being normally would be on the outside, but we have two of them, so we can work a little better at getting the sound we want from the kick, how we want the kick to sound through EQing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead on and bring up my frequency chart, and we can see the kick drum frequency is from 50 hertz. I'm sorry, from 50 hertz to almost 600 hertz. Okay, and then we have the harmonics. So this what shows how what we can do with this kick. So with the kick one, which is the inside, which is recording the beater, I'm going to be trying to bring out the harmonics. Okay, the frequencies that's causing for the harmonics. I'm going to be trying to do that. And for the outside, which is picking up more of the lower end, I'm going to be more working on the fundamental frequencies on the inside to bring that out. So one of them, I'm not going to be using too much of the fundamentals. I'm going to be taking a lot of that out. And then on the other one, I'm going to be using a lot of the fundamentals, more of the fundamentals to help shape with the beater of the kick drum, to help shape the kick drum. Okay, so let's go into that real quick. Let's hear how it sounds, and I'm gonna let it go, and then I'm gonna do some EQ moves, and then I'm gonna explain what I just did. So let's listen, and then we're gonna do some moves, and then I'll explain. Okay. Okay, let's listen to. Well, let's talk about what I just did. Okay, so on the Neve EQ, what I did was I cut. Look around, maybe 77 or 80, somewhere around in there. I cut that. Okay, I didn't need that because all I'm trying to do is bring out the beater. Okay, the smack, however you want to call it. That's what I'm trying to bring out. So, this moved on me. Let me see something. Okay, I'm sorry, it moved on. But anyway, so I'm bringing out almost 300 hertz because I heard like a little womp womp kind of sound. So I want to bring that out. We don't need to hear that. Used a narrow Q for that. We discussed, why we would want to use a narrow Q. And I boosted probably around 4K to bring out some of the high end of the smack of the beater, so to bring that out, because when I listen to records, that's what I hear. I hear the smack of the beater, and I want that to be heard. Okay, so that's what we did here. All right. On the filtering side of things, I did a what we call this, the high pass filter. Yes. So on the high pass filter, I rolled off all the way to 133 hertz because I didn't need anything below that. So all those fundamentals that we were talking about from 50, I didn't need all of that, but I needed, what was beyond 133. I needed those to stay in range, to keep the beater sounding like a beater. And then I just rolled off, 5,378 kilohertz. Okay. So I just wanted to get rid of some of the top end because I was going to bring in some top end. So that was kind of to compensate a little bit. Okay. So that's on the kick one on the mic inside. So let's hear how that sound. This is with the key EQ on. Now I'm going to turn the EQ off. EQ on. So you may have to rewind it to listen to it again. But what you should have heard is I've taken a lot of the low end away and gave more focus to the beater of the microphone that's inside. I gave more focus to that microphone hitting the beater, hitting the skin of the kick drum. Now we're going to focus on the outside of the kick drum, the microphone that's on the outside that's getting more of the low end, those sub frequencies. So that's what we're going to look at now. Okay, let's talk about what just happened. Okay, so once again, took out some frequencies that didn't sound good to me. I didn't want them to be heard, so I did a cut. I really didn't mess with any of the top end because I rolled off a lot of the top end. So a lot of that information, is gone. I just did a 20 hertz roll off, just to get rid of some of the low subs that can hurt later on in the mix, and then I boosted, probably around 47 to 50, somewhere in there. I boosted that pretty good. Okay, so now let's listen to how the kick 2 sound. Let's listen to that. So it's EQ on, EQ off, EQ on, EQ off. EQ on. Okay, so this is what I was able to do to have the kick sound the way I hear on a record, So rewind this, go back, look at it again, and keep keep looking at it, and see, just look and see what's going on here, the difference that's going on. So hopefully you're listening to this on studio headphones or studio monitors and not like laptop speakers or little earbuds. Hopefully you're not listening to it on those, but something where you can actually hear what's going on. So that's me shaping the kick drum to get some clarity out of the kick drum. So hopefully this can open up your understanding more of how to shape your sound by using EQ to be able to clear up what you need.
Okay, in conclusion on this, with the kick drum, with the kick in and the kick out, um, just know that all sessions you're not gonna have where there's two mics on the kick drum. You will have sessions where they only use one mic, and but by listening you can tell like where that mic was placed, and just listen before you do anything to the kick drum. Just listen to it before you use the EQ. Just listen to the kick drum. Just hear what the kick drum is doing, and then once you hear what it's doing, now make some EQ moves to be able to have that kick drum sounding full, and where it sits, where it's going to sit nice in the mix. So listen. And the other thing is, listen to modern music. No matter what genre you listen to, just listen to modern music and listen to the sound of the kick drum, and just hear how the kick drum is sounding in modern music, and then that give you a guideline or a foundation of how you want to shape your kick when you're EQing it. So this has been another edition of Sound Advice. And one other thing I keep forgetting is, but please check out my my website called soundadvice4u.com. Check it out. Browse around. Feel free to download some of my music. Feel free to get in, and we could talk about a mixing session that you want me to mix and master for you. So feel free to check that out. And on that note, I'll see you on the next one.